Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Aurogiri. So today's a video, well today's not a video, but today's video is in response to a video we made early or late last week, probably around Tuesday or Thursday, I don't remember the day, but it was immediately after PC's latest update. And this was the update that shook the world. Not really the world, but it was pretty alarming. So the biggest point of this update, like I made a whole hour-long video talking about everything about it. It was awesome. It's like, oh, all the shit gets like easier to make, like all these weapons, all these mags, even fuse mags, L-Sin, everything gets relaxed. All the recipes become easier to make. It's awesome, it's Noob Town. You can come in and just get good in like a month, I guarantee it. But there was something attached with this good. Every good has an evil, and this one was what I'm calling the Artisan Crisis. So, like I've said before, there is a method to get Artisan swords that is very reliable. Now, normally the only way to get Artisan swords within regular methods of gameplay is to complete dungeons within your level and gain lucky boxes. Every 50 or so lucky boxes, which is about the odds in my opinion, you have a chance of getting an Artisan sword. So Artisan swords from lucky boxes are not common. I have 155 boxes on me. Therefore, statistically, I would get around 3 to 4 Artisan swords within all of my boxes. So how long did it take me to get all of these boxes? I had about plus 26 when I started Fever about 2 weeks ago. So not this weekend, but the weekend before. So 2 weeks ago, because today's Monday. And, I got about 120 lucky boxes in, I'm going to roughly say, about 40 to 50 hours of gameplay, because I was pretty hardcore on that Fever. So, that was about my average, which would mean you'd get about 2 lucky boxes an hour. But that's kind of generous, but it's generally not like that. It's usually you'll get, if you're running dungeons your level, you'll usually get a lucky box once, like, every dungeon or once every second dungeon. It really all depends on kill count and all that stuff. But they're not abundantly, you get 5 boxes a run. It's not that easy. Point being is that it's not the most reliable way to get Artisan swords by any means possible. So the other way to get Artisan swords is the shopping plaza. So in the shopping plaza, and this is PS4, not Xbox, not PC, so it's going to be a little different now. So you'd go to your point exchange, and this is how you'd normally do it. Normally you'd get gacha tickets from normal gameplay, or you put money in or whatever, and you'd roll the cat over and over and over. I did not get the recipe loss. I didn't really get back on after I took that break. So generally speaking, you roll the cat, you'll get like, oh, I have a couple extra skill card set 5s. If I trade in 10 of these cards, I'll get 50 points, because they're worth 5 points each. And then with 50 points, you can get a whole 3 guaranteed Artisans for 50 points. Best deal in the game. This is sometimes a good deal, but only in dire straits. That's not worth a damn, those things. Don't even look at this. That's sometimes interesting. Anyway, that's basically the best way to get Artisan swords. And as the game is designed to be put money in, it's free, all that stuff. Someone rolls, let's say, $50 worth of money. $50 worth of money, listen to me, sound like a rye. They're rolling $50 worth of rolls, and then they get a couple extra skill cards or cudgels or something they don't need, so they trade them in, and, they use the extra floating stuff to get Artisan swords. Probably the best reliable way to do it. It's like, oh, I have a bunch of these Oogie card 2s and I'm Spear, but I'll use Geki over it anyway, so I don't need this, so I'm just going to trade them in. And it's 30 points, 30 points, 30 points, 3 of them and 2 skill cards, that's 6 Artisans. You know, you think, oh, that's pretty easy. I got 6 artisans. Yeah, but that costs you at least 20 bucks. That's pretty crazy. You know, that's not even a full weapon, if you think about it. So, you know, I have 72 points right now. I could get 3 artisans right now, but I'm not going to. Not at this second. So, here I am by the point Daruma. We all know this method by now. This is the method that got nerfed or axed, like completely taken out on PC. So, this is the whole start of the Artisan Crisis. So, generally with the point Daruma, you will trade in points, and every so many points you can just buy something. So what we do is, or you would generally go to buy skill card set 3, 4, and 5. So skill card set 3, you know, it comes with lunge step and all this random, like level 3 skills, level 4 skills, level 5 skills. You get them during normal gameplay, but you can buy them again here. Oh, you gotta go? See ya, Lossel. Thanks for stopping by. So 3,000 Daruma points does not take long at all, especially when you're farming rewards. So generally, like every 10 runs, I'll just keep depositing all the crap I get, and I can get a card. Like I can buy 1, or can I buy 2? I can buy 2. So 6,000 points, I could get 2 of these cards. You know, and basically the beauty of all these cards is that you can get these cards and trade them in the Neon Koro Pond for 5 points each. So if I buy 10 of these, right? I buy 10 of them, which will cost you 30,000 Daruma points. That is the equivalent to 3 Artisan Treasure Swords. And then you can only get like 10 of them at once immediately in a month. And then after you buy 10, they'll refresh 1 card a day. So you'd get, you know, let's say the month started like yesterday, December 1st, let's just say. So you go on December 1st and you're just like, I'm gonna buy 10 of these cards. And then on the second, you buy 1, so you get like 29 more cards the rest of the month. That's if you want to pay min value, you know, 3,000 things. So basically, you know, whatever. 30 cents a card if you were putting money into the Daruma. So, whew. So if you take, you know, 49, because that's how many days a month there are on average, not counting the 31st. If we count the 31st, it's 10, so it'd be about 40. So 40 times 5, right? And this is assuming you got every single card every single day. So 40 times 5, that would be 200 points, because every card is with 5 points. So, you know, that's just assuming you farm and you get all that stuff and you buy it every month. That would be 12 Artisan Swords a month at a very low cost. If you were to just put in the actual money to do that every single day of the month, so you put in the $3 on day 1 to get the 10 cards, and then 30 cents a day for 30 days, because we're going to assume it has 31 days. That's, you know, I can't math right now, but it's pretty cheap. It's very cheap. Very, very, very cheap, especially when it comes to artisans. You know, I'm going to try and do this math, and it's going to embarrass me. So, like, 10 the first day, so $3 a day, $3 the first day, and 10 more days, you add $3 more. So that's 3, 6, 9, 12. I think. Yeah. Yeah, so 12. So about $12 a month would get you 12 Artisan Swords. So you get an Artisan Sword, $1 a sword. That's incredible. That's fantastic. Especially when you consider, you know, I can go to weapons and buy an Artisan Treasure Sword, unexchangeable, for 20,000 points. I can get 1. And this sword can only be used up to 30. And this one can only be used up to 60. Because you have to use real Artisan Swords to even finish off a weapon. You buying this stuff is virtually useless. Virtually useless. You know, if I multiply this by 3, you know, I need 3 Artisan Swords. It doesn't matter. It's used for the first 3 smelts. You know, you do that. That's 60,000 points, which is like the price of 6 artisan swords. Like, it doesn't make mathematical sense. So this is the loophole that players have found. You know, we find it on PC, we find it on PS4, you know, Xbox will find it eventually. And you know, but it is sort of a loophole, and Cyberstep is closing that loophole. So this is causing an artisan crisis, especially for free-to-play players. You know, people who just rely on the Daruma, which Daruma is amazing for free-to-play. Like, God bless. So I got a question here from Daniel. So it does refresh on the first, like buy all month long, and presto, ability to get the first 10 again. It should be like that, Daniel, but for some reason on PS4, I don't know if it's because they did maintenance so late in the month when they handed out the new outfits and did a server reset. I've had people telling me that people who buy the monthly gacha ticket, because you can buy a gacha ticket every month for, you know, 25,000 points, which I recommend people do that if they've got nothing else to do with their points. You know, it's a nice little goal. But they told me it never refreshed for them this month. So at least on console, where the updates are not every week and things are wonky, it should be every month. And yeah, it would work just like that. In a perfect system, it would be like on the first or whatever. You know, it wouldn't even matter when you purchased your card. Like, you could buy, if you bought 10 cards on the 31st of December, and then January 1st rolled over, then you could buy 10 more cards right away. Like, that if that's what you're asking, then yeah, it's supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be like that. But now, on PC, this method here that I'm talking about with the skill cards and trading them in, it's gone. It doesn't exist anymore. You can't do it. And that's what Isaiah said right there is exactly the point we're trying to make here. So we've had a glimpse of the future, and this is a weird future. We don't really know how future it is. So what I mean by that is PC didn't see it coming, and I'm talking PC English. And a lot of the PC English players, well, they look ahead at the PC Japan players, you know, people playing the home console, the original translation, the one that gets updated months before PC, where PC is like years ahead of us. So, you know, they didn't see it coming, and they were already looking forward. So that means Cyberstep is acting outside of the norm, where they would normally just, you know, like a hand-me-down system, be like, oh, you get, you know, this update, you get this, you know. It goes from A to B to C to D. But that's not the case, and we've seen it on PS4 already. Now, we don't know if it's just errors or whatever, but, you know, there was an Origami Magma warding at some point on PC. We didn't get it. We're supposed to get Nightshade in our Lithatep. We didn't get it. We had dailies removed. We had... Oh, you got your PS4 yesterday. Nice. Oh, hey, Rig. Oh, yeah, you subscribed. I remember seeing your name on my email list. Hey, Rig. But yeah, like, we don't know. PC didn't see this coming. And what that means is that Cyberstep, I don't think they didn't know about this artisan sword method. But let's say maybe they're watching Aurogiri or something, and they're like, wait, easy artisans? Bullshit, I'm gonna click this. No way, I'm telling Cathmander. And then it's just like, they patch it. So, I don't want to think that's the case, but it could be. Maybe they never considered you could do that, and then they're losing money because of it, and they're just canceling it. But, you know, like, I'm pretty sure they're a very greedy corporation. I mean, everyone who plays this game is like, whoa, what do you mean it costs this much to do this? And it's like, yep. And it's like, okay, whatever. But, you know, to get past that, PC can't use this method to get artisans anymore. People have to shell out more money. It's harder to get free to play and all that stuff. Are you late to the party, Anonymous? Not really. It's still happening. So, I just started how I chose a class. Oh, how do you choose a class? if to choose a class, you just pick a weapon type. Like when you build your character, you have to pick like the right type. You have to, like, if you wanted to be twin swords, let's say, you'd want to be daring and put all your points into dex and just use twin swords. That's all you do. Like if you wanted to be power, or like if you wanted to use a sword, axe, or odachi, you'd still be daring. You should never go power. That's going to be a pro tip coming up soon. Just never go power. So yeah, like this method doesn't exist anymore. So right now, the only things they can buy are these things here. And, you know, it's not looking too good. But, it could be scary. Do you buy twin? No, you don't. You don't buy it. You just go through the game and just collect them from identifications and stuff. But a bit of a yawn there. Got up early today. But yeah, so with updates going out of order and things just coming out of the blue like that and catching people off guard that are looking into the future, chances are that modification to the point Daruma could even hit PS4 players. You know, they could throw out an update at the end of this month and just say, oh yeah, you guys are getting Vizsla Odin and the next part of Mephistopheles' story. We boot it up and we can't trade in those skill cards anymore. You know, you could wake up like that tomorrow. And I had a comment on my previous video where I talked about that, and the guy said, "Man, I had all these cards saved up to trade in, and now I can't, and I'm fucked." And I basically, when I read it, I think I said something to him, just something very consoling, you know, very human. But in my head, I'm just like, man, like, don't hoard these cards. Trade them in for points. You've got nothing to lose. And if you want to be like, well, you know, I need my Ice Bolt 3, it's like, bro, just go farm the Ice Bolt 3. So don't hoard those skill cards, because you never know when that update's going to come, and you're going to have like 50 of these cards, and they're pretty much useless. Like, just trade them in right away, because once they're points, they're points. They can't unbe points. They can't take away your points because you traded that in. It wouldn't work that way. So for those who are on PS4, I say now is the time to invest in Point Daruma. Get as many, you know, cheap artisans as possible. Even if you just throw in $20 a month, it's better than rolling. If you throw in that $20 a month and, you know, you buy your 10 cards, or then you start buying the 4,000s, it's just 10 cents more if you think about it when you buy the 3,000s and the 4,000s, and then 20 cents more when you buy the 5,000s. So if you bought, like, as I said, like, it was, what was it, almost 40 days where you could buy a card. So you can multiply that by 2, or it's 80 days where you buy the 30 and the 40s. You could get, you know, 20 to 30 artisans a month for, like, you know, what would we say, $12? So it'd be like $30 would get you like nearly 30 artisan swords if you were to just do it every single day. And just to add another thing, let's say you miss a day, right? Like you buy a card one day, you buy the 10, and then on Tuesday you buy the 1, and then on Wednesday you buy the 1, and then on Thursday you don't buy anything, and then Friday you're like, shit, I missed one. Like, no, when you go on Friday, there would be 2 cards available. They just keep adding up to a cap of 10 because it has to refresh itself. But if you waited past 10 days, then yes, you would be missing out on a card. So, you know, for those with dispensable income, I would highly recommend doing that, especially now that on PS4, the only thing really worth rolling for is Himiko, and she's not really all that because she will be coming back in the future with a Vanguard accessory, which makes it better. Like, I'm not buying Vanguards till accessories come out with them, so, you know, that's how it is. Maybe Dark Maya will tempt me, but I don't know. So, you know, an artisan crisis, an artisan shortage, I should call it, an artisan shortage is coming in the future. And, you know, if you're the type who just throws around 20 bucks every month, I highly recommend you invest in artisan swords, especially if you're wanting to get really good at the game. Because for those, you know, generally the rule of thumb to determine if someone is good, like at a baseline, is do you have three different gargoyle 115s and 3 105s. If you do that, you're outside of the scrub club. You know what you're doing. But to make those 3 weapons, it's going to take you about 10 to 12 artisans a weapon. That's generally the par when smithing a weapon, is you will fail 1 to 3 smelts pretty much every time. So it's like someone say, well, I just need 9 artisans. No, you don't. You need about 12 to 15. You know, 12 is usually the average on how many artisans it takes to get a weapon to plus 100. So, you know, it takes a hell of a lot of artisans. And then if you're keeping up with everything, you know, you're trying to make a Dayton Rue, which takes all these artisans. You're trying to make a night, that's the same thing, a L weapon, it takes even more artisans. And you're starting to get work on Mephistopheles to make a nadir will cost you like nearly 100 artisans, my man. Nearly 100. And you're gonna tell me that you're gonna roll the cat and you're gonna get like a 5 roll, and let's say you got 5 Ogies right there, and you don't care about the Ogies, like they're just whatever, you're literally swimming in silver balls, and you get 5 Ogies, you trade all 5 of those Ogies in, you spent $16. That's how much a 5 roll is. It's $16. That's right. It's not 20 bucks. It's 16. Or it's 16. That's right. I haven't rolled in a long time, so I forget. So you do that, and you trade it in 5 times 3, so you get 150 points for $16. But with the artisan method, you get 200 points for 12. So there's like a 25% difference there for less. So you can see all the math pointing towards it. Like the artisan Daruma method is way better than any other way to get artisans. I mean, if you're rolling for a Vanguard, you get extra shit by all means, but that is like 5 Oogie skills you could have had and all that other stuff. A member of the Scrub Club. No. You know. Like, that's just a general status thing when I say Scrub Club. Anyone who farms and works for their stuff and keeps trying is not a scrub, you know. But if you're in areas you're not supposed to be in, like if you don't got your 105s yet and you're like, I'm working on my 105s, but you're like farming moon and stuff, it's like, bruh, you can't even make the fuse. You need the 105s first. You know, it's like you're working on your 9th grade homework, but you're still in middle school, and it's like, I'm getting ready, and the curriculum's like, you don't even know what you're doing. But that's a different thing. Swimming in silver balls sounds like a glitter party at a men's club. I guess, yeah. But yeah, so, and I say but yeah, so a lot. Like, you could probably go to all my videos and I would say it all the time. But now is the time to get your artisans. Like I said, if you got dispensable income, you want to get, you know, a high tier player, you want to get good, now's the time to stock up on artisans. They will never, artisans do not expire. If you want a New Year's resolution for this game, assuming this method doesn't go away right then and there on console, you know, try to get your storage 999 artisans. Try to hit that cap every month. Like, let's do like a little math here just to see how many artisans you could get in a year using this method. Alright. What the fuck? So what we said before is you could get 200 points just by buying every card every single day for a month. So you multiply that times 3, that would be 600 Daruma, 600 trade-in points a month. So there's 12 months. So because I'm a scrub, I'm going to take out my calculator here. I'm just going to double check my math. I'm going to do everything. So you buy 10 the first day, and then you add 30 for every other day, because there's 31 months in a, or 31 days in a month, whatever. So plus 30 equals 40. So 40 times 3 equals 120. 120 times 5 equals 600, just like I said. 600 times 12 equals 7,200 points you could get a year. So that's pretty cool. So 7,200 points. Divide that by 50. 144. Multiply that by 3. That would net you in a year. In a year, you could get 432 artisan treasure swords using this method. And we've already seen that it costs less than just rolling the cat 5 times and getting 5 Ogis in a row, which is still incredibly unlikely. So 432. What's it gamer tag? My gamer tag is Randandestroyers, or Randandestroyer. So that's pretty much half of artisan cap in 2 years, which is retarded. But it's still the best method. So that's crazy. And what else is there? So 12. We said it would cost you $12 to do that monthly thing. So 12 and then like 10 cents more. I'd say like 60 bucks a month would do it. Guaranteed 60 bucks a month would do it. So maybe $50 a month would get you all those artisan swords. That's a month. It's pretty chill. So like 50 times 12 would be $600. Shit. $600 for 400 artisans. Oh my god. Since I've had a PS4 only like a year ago, I finally logged back in got Easter rewards. Oh wow. That's hilarious. So yeah, if you were to do the point Daruma method, like super hardcore, as hard as you could get yourself 432 artisan swords a year. So that's amazing. I spoke to Onigiri. There will be Christmas DLC for consoles. Nice. DLC. You mean an update or like extra stuff? DLC. But that's really cool, KMC. Very, very cool. This video ran really long. I wasn't expecting a 30-minute video, but I've said all I've had to say. We've learned some cool stuff, did some math, and I'm gonna get on out of here and I'm gonna get some water. So thanks for watching, and be sure to stay tuned for the next video. Happy farming.